Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and I love to do all sorts of DIY projects. And for this week I decided that I would like to recreate a fish crossbody bag inspired by these two designs. So my obsession with fish crossbody bags started a couple of weeks ago, where I saw these two patterns on my Pinterest, and these are actually patterns that you can buy on Etsy. I was very inspired by them, but I decided to make my own and not use any of the patterns. This one seems very fun to me, but also a little childish. I would like my fish to look a little more realistic, or like a little bit more muted with all the colors and everything. And then this one looks absolutely amazing and super cool. I love the design and I love the colors, but I think it's not very practical in your everyday life, because I want my wallet, my keys, an extra tote bag, and sometimes, yeah, even more stuff to fit into my purse. So I decided not to use these, but feel free to do if you like the patterns. But I instead will come up with my own pattern, my own design, and I will walk you through the process so that hopefully you can follow this and also come up with your own fish bag. To create my fish body bag, I decided that I'm gonna be using this pattern here as sort of my base, or sort of my guide. I really like this pattern. I've done this bag a couple of times. I think I have over 10 bags now, and I think the tutorial is amazing. So I would highly recommend that you would watch it, because yeah, this was so helpful also for me to learn how to construct basic bags, and I'll use some of the techniques that I learned in this tutorial for my own design. And then of course we need a fish design. So I just basically looked on Google Images and searched for fish art. You know, these like printable pages that you have in primary school or in the kindergarten that you use for coloring. So I basically looked at very simple fish patterns that I could trace. I finally landed on these two fish patterns or fish designs here, and I decided to trace them and sort of morph them together. And yeah, once I had my fish designs ready to go, I just projected them on my TV and used some tracing paper to trace my fish in the desired size. This is actually because I don't own a printer. So if you have a printer, just print out your pages in the desired size that you need. But this works very well for me. So yeah, the TV is a good hack if you don't own a printer like me. So I've just come up with my design. So I used the body of the first fish that I traced, and then I used all of the fins from the second fish, and I kind of combined them together to create this template. And now I think it's time to select some fabrics. So this is the color scheme that I landed on. I decided to use more of like those muted colors. So the body will be this denim fabric, and then the different fins will be, yeah, all sorts of like green and blue fabrics. And then the eye, I'm thinking to do sort of a grayish beige, and then have the center of the eye be also maybe this black denim over here. Then I also went through my stash to find the D-rings that I will need, and then some like straps as well, because I will basically be recreating this strapping system where you have the little D-rings here and then your strap just clips into it, because I really love this strap that I bought and I'm planning on reusing it. So it is the next day, and last night I glued on the eyes, and then I also started to pin the head part here, and then also like the tummy area. So I will just be sewing along here, maybe with a zigzag stitch, and then also along this edge here. And then I will be sewing all of the little fins and also, of course, the large fin. I also seam ripped my pants and sort of extracted my pant pockets that I can use, because for the back side here of the fish I would like to add a pocket. I have cut out and sewed all of my fins, and I also turned them inside out, and now the next step is to press them. And I will make sure to press out all of these corners here so that they are very, very crisp. And then I thought I could also stitch around the edges to make it basically stay that way and also give it a bit more structure. And then, as you can see here, I drew on some lines or veins. I'm not really sure how you call that for a fish, but I will also use some stitching to recreate that look, and maybe with a contrasting color, like not a green or a blue, but maybe something like a beige or even like a grayish white or something, so that it stands out a bit more. So I'm done with all of my fins. I hope you can see it. It's sometimes a little bit hard to see because I didn't choose like the brightest colors, but I really like it so far. And I decided that I also want to add some more detail to the fish body itself. So I've used this very light pink color where I thought I could add some lines, like do basically the freehand embroidery on the fish body, and maybe also here on the bottom a little bit. Then I think I will also basically be sewing all of my fins in place with like a basting stitch. So I decided to use this zipper here, and to make my life easier with sewing I shortened the zipper and then extended it with just normal fabric, because I don't need my whole fish to be covered by the zipper basically, if that makes sense. So this is where I marked one end basically of the zipper, and this is where I marked the other end of the zipper. And then I measured the length and kind of measured what I needed here for both sides, and I added a large amount of seam allowance just to be sure. So this is way too long, but just for me to have enough room in case I make mistakes. And now I will just pin my outer piece and then my green lining piece to one side of the zipper. Alright, so I attached the zipper to my front side here, and yeah, you can open it now. And this is the inside. So I first attached the zipper and then I top stitched it again. So I top stitched all the way here to make sure that it stays upright. And I know top stitching, or like in general like stitching in curves and installing zippers in curves, is quite hard, but I'm sure that you can manage as well. Just go slow and always make sure that you've everything like basted beforehand, like all the different layers of fabric are basted beforehand. That makes your life so much easier. And now I will repeat the same step for the back side, basically for this panel here, and then also the inside panel with the pocket. But I need to make sure that I will also include my D-rings and the strap here. So I will cut some small pieces and insert those pieces here to make sure that I grab them. And I maybe also will do a basting stitch. Basically it's the same procedure as it was for the fin. So for the bottom I will also be cutting out a fabric piece from the lining and the main fabric. So this is the bottom piece from the other bag tutorial video, and I just copied the measurements just so I have something to reference and like a starting point. And in her video she folds the fabric and then you sew basically along the fold here for a couple of centimeters and with a seam allowance of 1.5 centimeters. So you would be sewing along this line here, and then once you've sewn everything you can flip your piece wide open and sort of create a fold with your fabric. So something like this. Then you have this fold here, which of course will be sewn over, and then you've created this nice fold out here. This is what I will be copying, but I will make sure that my measurements here will be 3.5 centimeters in total, so that I can connect it to the already existing pieces that I sewed on. So I've created my bottom pieces, so these are the edges that's supposed to be 3.5 centimeters. So I will connect these edges to the already existing like zipper extension that I sewed. And yeah, then I basically have one large piece for the bottom here that I can just connect from either side. Okay, so I finished my fish bag last night and I'm very happy with how it turned out. It looks amazing. A little silly, but I'm very happy. I just have some final notes that I wanted to share in case if you like want to recreate this project, so yeah, you don't make the same mistakes as I did. So the first one is that my mouth here, I embroidered it too close to the seam allowance. So now the mouth part is kind of gone. On the back side it worked much better and I love the grumpy look that I was able to achieve, but yeah, the front side didn't turn out that well, so I'm kind of thinking if I should hand embroider that. But yeah, nothing too major, just make sure that all of your details are far away from the seam allowance. And then also regarding the head part, I did not do the side panels in the blue fabric, and I think I should have done that because then you would have like a continuous line here all around the headpiece, and I think that would look better. But yeah, I did not really think about that, and now it's a little bit too late, but this is just a tip that I have for you if you're just starting this project. And yeah, overall I'm super happy. I think it is amazing. I can't wait to show you the reveal. It works super well, it fits everything that I needed to fit. And yeah, I think before I show you my fish, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching my videos. This is now actually my 10th long form video, and I'm very happy that you are all here and watching. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It means a lot to me and helps me out so much, or just commenting or liking this video helps me out so much. And yeah, thank you. And now it's time to see the fish.